Hi, my name is Jean and welcome to my channel on how to launch your first online training business. In this video, I'm going to go over an exciting change to Zapier. You may have seen up here some of my tutorials on Zapier automations, but now Zapier has taken it to the next level with AI. So if you are not familiar, I'm going to show you a quick demo and explain some pros and cons of AI being integrated with Zapier. So now that Copilot and Zapier are integrated together, that can definitely help you with setting up your automations. However, I will caution that AI is still growing and being tested and being refined, as with all tools, and there are limitations to AI. Don't just assume now because Copilot is integrated with Zapier that all your automation questions are solved. I will tell you firsthand experience that it is always best to have a person check your automations because there are still some inaccuracies with Copilot when integrated with Zapier. One of the advantages of Copilot being integrated with Zapier is that Copilot is trained on all the different programs that are integrated with Zapier. So what that means is you can ask the AI the automation questions, ask AI to help you build those automations, and they will build those automations for you. However, it is not always the most accurate or most efficient because there are steps missing, and it's definitely not foolproof. It does save some time. I'll give you an example with a recent project that I worked on where we were customizing some B2B automations, very specific and bespoke customization. And while Copilot gave some really good suggestions, with the help of a developer checking Copilot, they were able to streamline and make the process more efficient. So Copilot may give you tips and they may show you what the path might be, but there are always better ways when you consult a human. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can prompt Copilot for some automation ideas and brainstorm automations for your Thinkific business. And then I will show you another example of a very simple automation that you can practice with. The whole goal of this is to show you the beauty of leveraging Copilot as your AI assistant to map out automations that you may not become familiar with, and that Copilot can also give you much more broader ideas the more specific you give them. So the idea is when you're prompting Copilot, the more specific and the more context that you give them. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can prompt Copilot for some automation ideas and brainstorm automations for your Thinkific business. And then I will show you another example of a very simple automation that you can practice with. The whole goal of this is to show you the beauty of leveraging Copilot as your AI assistant to map out automations that you may not become familiar with, and that Copilot can also give you much more broader ideas the more specific you give them. So the idea is when you're prompting Copilot, the more specific and the more context that you give them, the more that they can give you the results that you're looking for. As always, this isn't meant to replace a human being. This is meant to be done in conjunction with someone, because leveraging someone's expertise in automation and building these sequences and testing them and making sure they look right will save you a lot of stress and headache and frustration. So let's get started. Here's a sample one that I was playing around with to demo this for you. And instead of starting from scratch, I've already tested it out and I'll show you. In this prompt, I want to brainstorm automations for welcome emails for anyone who signs up for my Thinkific school. So let's just say you're at the beginning of your business and you're not quite ready to go with a big email software such as MailChimp, Kit, or ActiveCampaign. And while there is tools and software like MailerLite, you're not there where the cost justifies what you need. And so here, the example I give you is, so here in this example, I want to automate emails so that anytime someone signs up as a lead gen or they sign up for my lead magnet, I can set up automations directly from my G Suite or Microsoft Outlook. Now, while you can do this in Thinkific, there may be advantages with using G Suite and Microsoft Outlook because the emails will land based on the emails will come from your email address, and this can look a little bit more polished, and you can format it in either plain text or HTML. So I want to brainstorm automation ideas for sending out welcome emails for anyone enrolled in my Thinkific school. And so now I asked that question, they gave me some ideas, and here's what they propose. That anytime someone enrolls in a course, I can automatically send them an email. Now I can either use Gmail or I can use Microsoft Outlook. And the most important thing is when you're setting this up is to have them populate the right fields for the email, the subject name, and then the body of the message is either plain text or HTML. So now that this is good, I looked at another example of some automation ideas. And here, this is where Copilot has a little bit more of a different answer because there's nothing specific that they can find. So here I want to set up a progress report for anyone who has completed a lesson in my Thinkific school. As you can see, I didn't spell it accurately, but that's okay. The machine can overlook that because they see where I am going based on my previous questions. And they looked at what are the available triggers for Thinkific lessons, and they look for course completion triggers. And then here is what they were able to give me so that I can complete this automation. Do I want them to send an email out every time there's a new lead? So like maybe someone signs up for my lead magnet, or someone buys a course or product or digital download. It could be someone signed up for an account but didn't finish enrolling in a course. So that could be a new user. And then it could be a new full enrollment. So this means someone who purchased and enrolled in the course. And the next thing is that the Thinkific, now Zapier wants to give me the sequence of how to build this, so that if I want to send out a new order, this is how it looks. So I have to make sure the email is populated from the Thinkific account, and the subject, the email specifically refers to the course name, and then the body of this message should be a congratulatory message with course completion details. And then the assumptions they've made is that your Thinkific school can track completions through orders or user creation events. And that's true, that's an accurate assumption because Thinkific does track completions through orders and other user events. So like users can sign up, but sometimes they don't fully complete the checkout process. And for many reasons, and I can use that data to then send out and automate the email process. So now Zapier wants to walk me through what are the different options. And what I've done to show you is that I can set up anytime someone is enrolling in the course, then I can send them a congratulatory email. So what I've done here is I made sure the Thinkific account is integrated. And the next thing I wanted to do is configure the email in Gmail. So now I make sure that my Gmail is connected and which Gmail it's coming from. And then I'll click on continue. And this is where it's really important. So for mapping, I'm going to make sure it's sending out to the user email so that every time they know to do this, it's based on email. And then do I want the email associated? Am I sending this email to a group of contacts or a specific label? Sometimes people set up group contacts and labels in Gmail, but that is not the case here. This is very simple. And then I can CC. So maybe I have a support email. I can add a plus I can look for a email for a support email, but I don't have a support email in here. So what I can do is just say cc support@janedoes.com. And then I can BCC another VA if I want to, if not, cool. And then the from email will be my Gmail, so I can just select that. And then my name, I can populate the first and last name. And then the subject is what's important. Congrats on your enrollment in course name. So I can look for course name in here. Cool. And then body type. So this will be the subject of the email. Is it plain text or HTML? I'm just going to keep it plain text. We can do HTML in another video. I'll just say, hi, thank you. Hi, thank you for enrolling in the course and look forward to getting to know you. So that looks good. And then if I want, I can add a signature default. So maybe I already have a default signature in my Gmail G Suite, and then I can choose from a default signature. But if I want to create my own signature, I can clear this and then set up a new signature default so that they can populate. And then if I'm going to send out a funny like GIF or video welcome email, I can do that too and click on the attachments and set up this as an attachment, and then I'll continue, and then they'll preview everything to see how this looks, and then we can go ahead and test this, and it will send an email to my Gmail in about 18 seconds. So the point is that you can leverage and take advantage of Copilot for all these automation ideas, but you will still need someone to help you set this up and test it out to make sure it looks exactly the way you want to, because the assistant is not going to be able to do everything, but it'll get you through at least part of the way, which is actually really good. I hope this video helps you begin to use Copilot Assistant. I hope this video is helpful in leveraging and brainstorming how to use Copilot Assistant inside Zapier for all your automation questions, needs, and ideas in your Thinkific business. Feel free to reach out if you have questions, comments, or other feedback. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon.